The following is from a dream or prophecy of Saint Don Bosco. This occurred between May 24 and June 24, 1873. The vision is related from the 10th volume of the Biographical Memoirs. It was a dark night, and men could no longer find their way back to their own countries. Suddenly a most brilliant light, faith in God and in His power, shone in the sky, illuminating their way as at high noon. At that moment from the Vatican came forth, as in procession, a multitude of men and women, young children, monks, nuns, and priests, and at their head was the Pope. It seems to allude to the suppression of monasteries and schools run by religious and to the Pope's exile. But a furious storm broke out, somewhat dimming that light, as if light and darkness were locked in battle. Perhaps this means a battle between truth and error, or else a bloody war. Meanwhile the long procession reached a small square littered with dead and wounded, many of whom cried for help. The ranks of the procession thinned considerably. After a 200-day march, all realized that they were no longer in Rome. In dismay they swarmed about the pontiff to protect him and minister to him in his needs. At that moment 2 angels appeared, bearing a banner which they presented to the Supreme Pontiff, saying, "Take the banner of her who battles and routs the most powerful armies on earth. Your enemies have vanished, with tears and sighs your children plead for your return." One side of the banner bore the inscription, Regina sine labe concepta, Queen conceived without sin, and the other side read, Auxilium Christianorum, help of Christians. The pontiff accepted the banner gladly, but he became distressed to see how few were his followers. But the 2 angels went on, "Go now, comfort your children. Write to your brothers scattered throughout the world that men must reform their lives. This cannot be achieved unless the bread of the divine word is broken among the peoples. Teach children their catechism and preach detachment from earthly things. The time has come," the 2 angels concluded, "when the poor will evangelize the world. Priests shall be sought among those who wield the hoe, the spade, and the hammer. As David prophesied, God lifted the poor man from the fields to place him on the throne of his people." On hearing this, the pontiff moved on, and the ranks began to swell. Upon reaching the holy city, the pontiff wept at the sight of its desolate citizens, for many of them were no longer. He then entered St. Peter's and intoned the Te Deum, to which a chorus of angels responded, singing, Gloria in excelsis Deo et in terra pax hominibus bonae voluntatis, glory to God in the highest, and peace on earth to men of good will. When the song was over, all darkness vanished and a blazing sun shone. The population had declined greatly in the cities and in the countryside, the land was mangled as if by a hurricane and hailstorm, and people sought each other, deeply moved, and saying, Est Deus in Israel, there is a God in Israel. From the start of the exile until the intoning of the Te Deum, the sun rose 200 times. All the events described covered a period of 400 days. Thank you for supporting my channel. Please like and subscribe. May God bless you and keep you.